Hey guys, welcome to my next video. This is actually kind of a little bit of an unusual video for me because I normally only do this every few months. I do like to order my fur in bulk when I do get to the next point in my queue. So this is going to be the fur for 5 suits. So this is roughly like almost $800 worth of fur. I still have 5 yards coming to me from CR Crafts, which that's not supposed to get here till next week. It's fine. Fabric.com actually shipped really fast for once. That was surprising. But this is the fur for Anaya, AJ, Ashton, the black cat breed I'm working on, and Acacia, which I hope I said that right because the owner's been like trying to teach me how to say it and I am terrible with names. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it because it's now past my bedtime and I have to be up at 5 a.m. So I'm going to get this done. I am going to talk about this more when I actually go over where to buy fur and all this stuff. But Fabric.com has an excellent customer service. They're very good with if you get something wrong and they'll replace it and they'll work with you. If you get back to them within like 48 to like 60 some hours after you get your delivery, if you wait like a week, they're less inclined to help you, which, you know, it's kind of reasonable. So if you do get a Fabric.com order, I suggest you not waiting more than a day to open it and check it. So don't like store it off into your garage and never touch it again for like 3 months. Because everyone makes mistakes. So I did get this order today, so I'm like, I really want to open this. So obviously they send me a little list that is going to tell me everything that's in here. If you are a fursuit maker, make sure you keep this. You can claim this on taxes for your supplies and such, and get that off your taxes. So the first up is Ashton's hot pink. So I'm not going to completely remove this right now because Fabric.com does cut their fur with scissors, so it does have a lot of loose fur, so I'm going to wait till after I'm off camera to actually get this all out of the bags. But this is standard luxury shag. Nothing too special there. It's 2 yards there, and this is also Ashton's baby pink. So I actually did have hot pink. I have 2 yards in my bedroom, but I was unsure if the dye lots, if I ran out of that, since that is like a year old, if the dye lot would match that. So it's always safe to go ahead and order new fur if you don't think you're gonna have enough for the full suit, because dye lots can differ a lot. Usually not that much in pink, that's more white, gray, and browns. But I like to be on the safe side. If I don't have enough to finish a fur, then I like to go ahead and get new. So this is actually minky. I do have some minky and vinyl in these boxes as well. So it's not all completely fur. Did lie a little bit there. But the majority of it's fur. So this is just maroon. Minky Cuddle 3 is what I use whenever I use minky. This is once again for Ashton. What even is this? What is this? Is this black beaver? Yes. So black beaver is a short, kind of more dense pile. It's better than seal. Usually it's a little bit softer than this. This is a different lot, but it doesn't shed that bad. If you need a short pile for fingers or feet, this works great. It also shaves pretty good. I like using beaver over most short furs. Unfortunately, beaver really only comes in black, white, ivory, and you can get it in a fawn color, but I'm not a huge fan of that. Black beaver is just for everything. This is probably the white beaver then. Yes. So, same thing. This is 2 yards instead of 1 yard. I love using, I want to check this lot real quick to see if it's the same as that kind or if it's the nicer kind. Yeah, not terrible. Fabric.com, I've said this already, I do love using them, but their stuff can differ from time to time. So you do have to be careful. Sometimes their lots aren't always the greatest. I have had one lot that was really bad, and I worked with the customer service and they got replaced right away. So I don't really have any complaints there. Like I said, Fabric.com has wonderful customer support. You just have to get to them pretty fast. So this is my vinyl for Ashton. They always send their vinyls on this long tube because you have to basically order a yard. If you order less than a yard, like if you order half a yard, it's not half the price. It's like $5 off the price, which I can understand in the sense that they just want to sell the full yard and not sell half yards. But in the same sense, I only need this for like feet paw pads, and I had to get a whole yard. But now I have a whole yard of red. But it is nice that they give you the roll here, because when I get more than 3 yards of fur, I do like to roll it and put it in my closet, because it takes up less space to have 3+ yards of rolled fur than it does folded fur. So that's all that is. That's merino vinyl. Merino vinyl is what I use most of the time for my paw pads and anything really that calls for vinyl. You can get a more flexible vinyl, like stretchy, all stretch vinyl. This vinyl does stretch to an extent, but not too much. But it is my go-to vinyl because it's durable and I just overall like using it. It's not packaging. It's not that flexible, but it's still rigid enough that I feel secure that it's not just gonna rip open. Because with the more stretchy, spandexy type of vinyl, I do fear when you put a lot of holes in it that it will just rip. I have more faith in the merino vinyl. All right, so soft. This is how many yards of white? 3. So this is 3 yards of white mink. Mink is a fur I've only found on fabric.com. They sell it in white, black, maroon, a tealish color that I've used before, an indigo color. I think there's one more color, but I can't think of it right now. It's a really good medium pile fur, so it's not as long as shag, but it's longer than like beaver or seal is. So this is what I really like using this on the body. I still wouldn't use it for the stomach or like the crotch area unless I shaved it first. But that's just, I don't like long fur in the heavy sweat areas anyways, typically, because it does get more matted. But yeah, the white mink matches the white beaver and the white shag. It might be a little more ivory than the shag, but not as ivory as like the white fox. So be careful with your whites. I always, before I start a suit, I will take all the whites outside in natural lighting and take a photo of them. Because when they can all look white in your bedroom or under indoor lighting, but the moment you get outside, you'll be able to tell which one's more ivory. So this is black mink. Yeah, so this is 3 yards of black mink. I like to keep a stock of black and white mink because I use it on a lot of suits. This one specifically is for three of my 5 suits that I said already. So that's what that is. This is the beige Afghan hound. I'm correct? Jackpot. You got the end of the bolt. Cool. No, this is the sable. I actually know I was getting the end. So this is for acacia. I think that's right. I hope it is. This is a good example. When you buy the last yard of a fur, you'll get the little jackpot. You got the end of the bolt. And basically what that means is the last bit of fur that's on the roll isn't typically a full yard. They'll actually have a little bit more. I've gotten upwards of a half of a yard for free because it's the end of the bolt. Typically the very end though, it can be more crimpled, which you can fix easily with a hairdryer, but it is nice to get a little bit extra fabric. That goes for everything. I've gotten that on the fur and on the vinyl. So my third and final box. This thing's really less exciting than I thought it would, but now you know how expensive fur is. So even though this is almost $1,000 worth, it's still not that much because fur is really expensive. I think, if I'm right, I'm mixing acacia's fur and Analia's. So those should be in here. I think that's all I'm mostly missing. So acacia's is right on top. I always suggest ordering swatches before you buy fur. Typically, I'll actually send my customers swatches of the fur so they can 100% be like, that's what I want. And then I go ahead and order it. This fur I actually didn't get a swatch of, but I was pretty sure I knew the texture and all that. It is a little bit more orange than I thought. So I'll send this to the customer and see if she still likes it. But it is a very pretty fur. This is the Canadian Husky, I do believe. But yeah, so that's 3 yards. 3 yards. Oh. Alright, now we're getting into Analia's. Is this her dark brown? Sorry. Yes, that is dark brown. Dark brown just... Oh, right. Sorry. Blank moment. So this is Analia's Fawn. So this is also a mink. So this is the same as the white and the black. I forgot about these two minks and I actually ordered them. So that's 3 yards of that mink, and this is a yard of her dark brown mink. Yeah. So I paused because it looked black for a moment, but in the bag you can actually see it's just dark brown. Dark brown can sometimes look like black, especially in photos. So this is the beige Afghan Hound. So Afghan Hound, it is a newer fur. It's been on the market for about 6 months now, and it's longer than the shag, so it's not too thick. So I don't suggest using this on large parts of the body, but on like the chest area and neck area and like floof parts, like the bottom of the tail and stuff, as long as you don't have a tail dragger, it's wonderful because it's longer and it's wispier. So I enjoy this fur. Do not recommend shaving it, but all the furs except for coral that you can get in this type have regular shag. So I would always recommend shaving shag over this. I'd always recommend actually getting shorter fur over shaving shag, but sometimes that's not possible. But yeah, so this is just half of yard. Once again, half yard isn't half the price. That always makes me a little upset because it's like, this is $33 for a full yard or $27 for half a yard. So obviously it's like, you want to get that full yard because you're getting more for your money, but then you don't need a full yard. So that was the case in this guy. I just bit the bullet and did half yard because I know I probably won't use any more than what I'm using for her. So the last item in here is a swatch. I always try to like get a swatch of something if I haven't seen it in their store. So this is actually a swatch of their fly feather. I don't actually remember. Just I have a big swatch collection in my room. I like always having swatches. The good thing about fabric.com swatches, they are $3 each. They used to be $1. So they, sorry, fur in there. They have gone up in price, but they give you the biggest swatch by far. So if your character has like a small marking on like their face, or if you're doing some fingers, you honestly could get away with ordering a couple swatches instead of ordering a full yard. Obviously it's more expensive doing this way, but if you only need like a smile bit, this is $3. Worth more than like getting a $40 thing of fur or $30 yard of fur that you're not going to use. I always recommend getting more fur than you need because the dye lots, but if you're just making it for yourself and you're not making suits for other people, you can just get swatches if you have small markings. So that is all. Sorry, this is a little anticlimactic. It doesn't look as much in bags, but this is what almost $800 worth of fur looks like. So add on 5 more yards that I'm getting for CR Crafts, and that will be the total I just spent for 5 fursuits. Yeah. So here's just a little overview so you can see all the fur that I just took out of those boxes. And there's all the empty boxes. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit that subscribe button down below, and give me some love because I'm still pretty new on here. Bye!